A lot of buyers think that the list price tells them what a home is worth. And sometimes it does. But sometimes the list price is actually designed to create multiple offers. And if you don't recognize that strategy, you can walk into a situation completely unprepared. Based on my recent experiences, I felt really inspired to put together some insight on this episode today so buyers can think about their options before they write an offer. I'm Keri White, real estate agent in beautiful Los Angeles, and I love to share real data-driven insights so you can make informed decisions whether you're buying, selling, or just keeping a close eye on the market. Hit subscribe to stay current and pass this along to a savvy friend who's been watching the market from the sidelines. Let's talk multiple offers, how they actually happen, how to recognize when a home may be priced to create them, and how buyers can think strategically instead of getting caught up in the emotion of it all. All right, so a couple months ago, I had buyers who found a home they loved. Great house, great street, exactly what they'd been looking for. But when the listing came out, something caught our attention. The price felt low. Now, sometimes that happens. But after doing this for over 20 years, you start to notice patterns. So instead of just analyzing the house, I looked at the listing agent for the home. What does this mean? I looked at the agent's pattern. And this is something that most buyers or agents never think to do, but I just had this small hunch. Some agents tend to price homes in similar ways over and over again, a pattern. So I pulled up this particular agent's recent sales history and noticed there was a very clear pattern. Most of her listings were selling about 12% over asking. Some even hit as high as 20% over asking. So that tells us right away, this home is expected to sell well over asking price. The story becomes really clear, really fast. This list price isn't the value. It's the invitation. It's meant to attract buyers and create competition, specifically to do that. So back to the strategy. Of course, when working in multiples, we normally first look at the neighborhood. But even with that, you always want to compare that strategy to the actual market. So we looked at the surrounding nearby recent sales and noticed most homes in the neighborhood were selling right around asking price. So now we had two important pieces of information: what the neighborhood was doing and how this particular agent tends to price homes. And that's when the strategy becomes much more clear. Outside of that small story, are multiple offers in Los Angeles still happening? This is the question I get all the time. If you're a new buyer to the market or a first-time buyer, these multiple offers can really take you for a ride. The short answer is yes, they are still happening, but they are not happening on every home. In Los Angeles, the homes that are well priced and well presented are still the ones that tend to attract the most attention, with an average of 2 to 3 offers on them. The market today is more balanced than it was a few years ago, but even with inventory higher and many homes sitting longer than ever before, there's still a relatively low level of inventory compared to previous years. But we are finally higher in inventory than we were back in 2019 before the big shortage of 2020 and 2021, which was a madhouse. What that means is that you can expect multiple offers on most top-tier new listings, homes that are positioned correctly from the start, which is exactly why recognizing pricing strategy really matters. If you're wondering how this relates to you personally or want to explore how you can get multiple offers as a seller, reach out to me in my info in the caption. We love working with people who watch our videos. Now, when buyers walk into a multiple offer situation, they often assume there's a clear process, and there really isn't. After submitting your first offer, there's a few different paths the process can take. Sometimes the listing agent calls for a best and final. Everyone submits their strongest offer. One shot. Sometimes buyers get a chance to improve their offer. Sometimes only a few buyers get a call back. And sometimes there's no second chance at all. You submit your offer, and the seller simply picks one. Other times, the listing agent starts calling buyers saying, "We have something stronger. Can you come up?" And suddenly the numbers start moving quickly. You may get an offer to come up a few thousand to clinch it, but others are also getting that opportunity. We had a multiple offer recently where we were given the opportunity to come up 10K to get it. The buyer didn't trust the process, hesitated a couple days, and then we found out that the other buyer came up 20K. So when buyers enter a situation like this, they have to understand that several paths are possible. You might decide to go in strong right away. You might decide to wait and see if the agent asks for a best and final. You might raise your number. You might decide the price has gone beyond what makes sense for you. There isn't one single right move. And what's important is knowing what the property is worth to you and what you're willing to risk or lose, or what you're willing to walk away for. The first time in the situation won't feel the same as the second, third, or even fourth multiple offer. Keep that in mind when you're in multiple offers, that each buyer is on a different playing field. Take this information as a lesson that could save you from losing out on your ideal home because it's your first multiple offer. So understanding these possibilities really allows you to make a decision intentionally instead of reacting, I'd say, more emotionally. So let's go back to our first story. It was a first-time buyer, first multiple offer. We saw the home could sell for $300,000 to $500,000 over asking based on the area averages and this listing agent's history. So we made our offer based on those factors. Most importantly, my client's comfort zone. And then once the multiple offers came back, the psychology started to change. Buyers started thinking maybe a little bit more. What if we go up by a $1,000? What if we're close? And that's when people start chasing. Instead, we made a plan, submitted a strong counter that felt right to them, and they also agreed that if the price went beyond a certain point, they'd let it go. Later, we found out the home sold for $500,000 over asking. $500,000. And when my clients heard that number, they actually felt relieved because they realized that was never going to be the right purchase for them. So instead of getting swept up in the moment, they understood the strategy ahead of time. Now, when they see list prices, they look at them a little differently. Whether the market is hot or balanced, the principle is the same. List price isn't always value. Sometimes it's positioning, and sometimes it's marketing, and sometimes it's the first step in creating competition. When buyers understand that, they approach homes very differently. They ask better questions, make clear decisions, and most importantly, they avoid regrets. So if you're looking at homes in Los Angeles and wondering whether a list price reflects the real value or is a pricing strategy, feel free to send me the address, reach out. I'm always happy to share my thoughts. And if you want more insights into how the market actually works, make sure you're subscribing to Keri TV.